Etifo makwaba edeba POG so ebi say your first time and answer what so media and so measure say obe subscribe to POG political highway no so also that's why me that was also abisia aha wa ba join POG political highway no your daily update and so your diku highway no so ma Ghana for enso hu de ekoso ewo my Ghana manjosemu na ensembe na ne ewo highway no so ajadwa se de mbewura mu ensem a se efi yewura mampanyi dada Akuffo Addo na kache a se ede ba se kam yakoye se bra moment me am breaki ede 8 no se kam yakoye se sanse mi etimi aha mampanyi dada papa no so enam so ama sam ono na Sìcknéss bia and also so reports batch say abo ra ono so na kachi a say ebusua no no hu pese be public and also nya ho update so de aba to highway no so na ebusua for no worried kakra fa the legacy ono so live the ma my Ghana say kamya ko say nya legacy papa no so enam so ma ne stadium pa honyina wo si wo taadi a chese na ke be cancel pa de afa no taadi mabunu no so atimi akobubu kam yakoye se na mamu a obebu no anasa na mamu a chese ba for the past 8 years no kam yakoye se na Ghana man dodo na so emfa so a eno so akoye kodanda ama busuan se owu empo sebi da sorry na siante asempa se mampanyi da frima legacy a we live ebeboa abusuan no anase mbo abusuan me se ebebo rasa ansem ni etiem yimedase
wa we your mampanyi ni e ka asem se fa wo ho a ebeyi so we your mampanyi ni wa besom ne ye ka ohene o papa yo ka se onya politician o wo your ohene. Now, all can say no, I can again hazard a guess. Say, I him for a cuckoo dam binsu or memoir, Wumunya, one be baku for the cheap brutal, one be come with some actually no. Yeah, say finally, on my name and a farm who did how I take no doorson, it will cast some no doorson. I feel on my penina cassa de. O tietia himfo fa hodie so toto ne nsa nem ne ade ne se nem adai vuado how ene wayemre o edidimu a nche betia na breaking news. Former president Akuffo is no more. O legacy ni o enye onu na wo kono but ebusuafo na wagya wo mo no ewe chire no ene dia atari betwa ediashom. Folks, maybe a short break, but before the break, my main announcement in Mama said, I promise the viewers and listeners say, when we come back in the year 2025, the front line is also going to mount a serious expose with title The Ministry of Darkness. Okay, the Ministry of Darkness is about what? Ye be expose into the body of Christ. Asofo bi wo memu ha. Enye nyamedwuma no wo moye. No. Enye nyamedwuma. Expose no be kosan. Me be ye expose no humfoni kakra e de akere. Take a listen to this. Like a rag to mop the floor. And the National Security Organization became a cash cow. We di boni bebre folks yen sebre. Now, tonight we are bringing the part 2 as national security officers calling on President John Mahama to set out this committee of inquiry to investigate. Now, the committee of inquiry by John Dramani Mahama and the arrest of the former national security coordinator, part 2 tonight, and they are calling on President John Mahama say onhwena sadi onye ntem. Folks, if you listen to one top officer of national security who also went through torture and massive whatever at the national security in the hands of top security officers and the coordinator. Very, very sad. On Monday, the Frontline Maiden Edition exposed a jaw-dropping of a harrowing encounter of a senior national security officer in the ex-war Addo Akuffo. And we are making a plea to John Dramani Mahama's government to arrest the former National Security Coordinator, Mr. Edward Kweku Asumene, quickly, so that this would compensate officers who are calling for John Mahama to set out this committee of inquiry. Tonight, we expose yet another harrowing encounter by a senior officer at the NSA. One, in 2017, after the so now listen to me carefully. Sa officer noa ono so yede ne fa sa kwan so de to no e na mi bie so acha we nya report we just highlight ono so no report ho. But then again, let me say that some of the officers are ready to invade my studio to come and expose top security issues. They don't care. Some are very sensitive. And I'm sure in the coming days, as we do the build-up, they will storm the studio and they will tell their story. I'm sorry. This is John Mahama. They will tell the story. Now listen. In 2017, after the general elections, a special unit was created at the NSA called PMU. This unit was being operated by retired military and intelligence officers of the state whose allegiance toward the government. Officer Nekaseyo. Nasem ne say ebra 2017 MPP wini yenom. Ena one mo te office bi asa office no mo tudin PMU ewo national security ho. Na dean ena no mo de office ne ba beye tie. Or say this unit, however, took a nationwide exercise to gather data and intelligence of foot soldiers in the NPP who needed jobs. In the course of event, one military officer retired, name withheld, was tasked to surveillance Ghana's forest and water bodies against illegal mining. Assembly now say, yatrono chese. Ebra MPP winning power in 2017. Forming sa units way ewo national security called PMU no. What? But I already see many say they will gather data. And at the same time, so MPP full soldiers no. One measure say omebo mano. Now if you measure so many adwuma bi e de amom maye. Now officer we yentimi money din ono na adwuma e de man no say obeko Ghana's forest reserves any water bodies akọ surveillance ahwe say illegal mining activities enkoso ewo forest wo na adwuma e de man no. Tie. While in line of duty, he arrested several illegal mining companies, including the almighty C&J Alaska. Tienyo. While in line of duty, he arrested several illegal mining companies, including the almighty C&J Alaska, operating in Diaso. As part of his detailed responsibility, was also to prepare intelligence report for national security mainstream for action whilst on the job. Assembly now say, Papa edwuma edema so onkoye no eye say onkwohwe Ghana ensuo ene ewirem ho wo mo eye galamsey na onchechi wom na afi on build intelligence reporter ebema yetumi aden ahwena yabo enyoma ina ho ban afi because sa papa national security officer, he is a former military and intelligence officer retired and he do mo ba national security so on be say adwuma no right. So tie also once on the job, one of his superior in the name of, now you be dropping names, and let me say tonight, any former national security officer be abetudi, may I say respectfully, the doors of Frontline and CTV are open. Come and let's interrogate you, please. Either you come, we interrogate you, or issue a rejoinder, or a press conference, and we are glad to carry this forward. Listen to me. National Security Officer Biara Obetu Dinwaha, you are entitled to walk into our studios. Come, we interrogate you on what is happening, or issue a rejoinder or do a press conference. Either of the 2-3, we will be glad to carry it on. Now, one of his superior in the name of Captain Budukumsin retired. One name has dropped. Captain Budukumsin retired. Became furious and agitated. Captain Budukumsin, ne picture no mo fambra MC a mo ma ne o manyentem. Or say one Captain Budukumsin retired on that screen is no. Became furious and agitated over some of the arrests of the mining companies, including threats coming from NPP party officials, including Hajia Fatih, as part of some syndicated group. And that hono. Sir, officer, a bro started so authority mining companies, you know. National security peniphobi started say if you money no ya gidigidi. Now, one among them are obae a onino ebeyen tokwa. Eye papa your desk is Ayora Budukumsin retired. He's a former military officer. Captain Budukumsin retired. Yeah. Including Hajia Fatinum, our MPP. Yeah. And in the now, according to the officer, papa your that's where ya ora Captain Budukumsin or no associate any superior or sanction say or munko forest or no munko protected forest. So then the question remains, what
sound like it Jumede and the Kwan, so I'm just like here now. Subscribe to a POG Political Highway and so on. Subscribe here, or subscribing now. We see a lot of a Ghana, your daily political updates. I just say yes, so you're about a highway and so now I see me a bit Chaguya Kamia Quay say a year Abusiano, just a be a wofu and I say just a being penny acquire a year you run and Addo Eddie my Ghana efa so a year Kati rounds and some and a year the Busian Qua just say or the almost a year Ghana and I say the government just almost so every real no mukum no me say or my Ghana a year Japadi Abusia say bebo but the rat science in near to us near team you may that's it.
Why would Budukumsin come and now begin to take a fight with him? You haven't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute. He decided to abandon the operation and left for the United States. He later received a call from his former chief, Lieutenant General Edu Amafo, former Director of Defense Intelligence in the military, and former ambassador to Liberia, to take up a personal assistance position at the NSA, National Security Agency. Papa said, a bra pressure started say a banner sono. Or you're not doing say any pam no trano, I mean for Mujuman tour, na men come baby. Etiam parampara ordine Juma eto ho, then he went to United States because near nema ewo ho and okoy. Or America wa no nya call from another top military general called a friend say General Edu Amafo, na Ghana for my mention modem. General Edu Amafo was a former national security coordinator. Ewo Blue Gates. And Kweku Asumeni was a deputy to Edu Amafo. Now, Edu Amafo was also a former defense intelligence. He was the director of former defense intelligence in the Ghana Armed Forces. Yeah, Waye Jumapa. Again, also became Ghana's ambassador to, I think, Sierra Leone and Liberia in the Akuffo administration. Ebane say Akuffo de Kofa and say Omeye National Security Coordinator na Kweku Asumeni enye ni deputy on deputizing no. Enti papay a fresh security officer in America say Omra no meye ni PA personal assistant into Oyeden or Jepene and he came. Meanwhile ni ye din ani ma ne ko back o. Ena papa we General Edu Amafo ban or friend say Omra, so he came back. Guess what? He obliged to come down to work with Edu Amafo after a period. All this while as he proceeds, several warnings yet again, warnings yet again started flying overhead. And in a particular meeting with his boss, Edu Amafo, together with the National Security Coordinator, Kwaku Asumeni, at the National Security HQ, aggressively warned him to remain silent or else he would be deposed from the agency. Although he cannot recall ever committed any offense to warrant what? To warrant the displeasure of his security chiefs or superiors. Papa Ichiremu said, Ebra, Eye ambassador and I said National Security Coordinator Edu Amafo friend is Omrano. Obae. Na Ebra nini ye Jumano na say Ochina say what is going on? So one particular time a meeting was set by Unkn0wn boss, National Security Coordinator General Edu Amafo, and the deputy Kwaku Asumeni, women now will meeting him. Now some of them catch and say, Unkn0wn na so Unkn0wn obedidi bonibia manakwem. Na so Unkn0wn tumwa eduma no mbe yinedi. In fact, Ghanaians, when I personally heard this, I was shocked because I have a great sense of respect. Edema General Edu Amafo. I know General Edu Amafo, a lot of you know him. He's one of Ghana's finest distinguished military general. As a former director of defense intelligence in the military. Waye Eduma pa ansana Akuffo de ne koye ambassador was Sierra Leone and Liberia. So to hear say in that meeting at the National Security HQ, could tell Unkn0wn PA say Unkn0wn na onyai kasa na obedidi no. I was shocked. And in this meeting, Edu Amafo's deputy, who is why General Edu Amafo and other screen is no. General, with the greatest of respect, tonight I'm doing my job. Major General Edu Amafo, former defense intelligence in the Ghana Armed Forces Director General, became National Security Coordinator at the Blue Gate on Addo. The TNO media papa. But Charlie, the cat and mouse be a course or no. You'll be shocked. Guess what happened? On Kasakrana one Chibu. There was a conspiracy ploy to oust him from that position by this same Kwaku Asumeni. Guess what? Now, we are say, hey, yo. Now, on the third day of May 2017, he received an intelligence report from an informant disclosing an ongoing illegal mining activity in the Nkoko enclave. Intelligence officer Nanwa Semni Yatrotrowa Heyo. On the third day of May, and also call no every an informant to her. Say illegal galamsey be koso mine be koso on Nkoko area until onye fast no yeden. Omra no monshare and to Tonyama. Now let me clear something here, sir. Edu Amafo, who was then the National Security Coordinator, Kwaku Asumeni was deputizing him and was made to learn from Edu Amafo. But guess what happened? The same Kwaku Asumeni, together with some group of people in national security, masterminded a conspiracy ploy to take Kwaku, Major General Edu Amafo from the position, from the national security position, a coordinator position. And you Kwaku Asumeni, you didn't be share. Yeah. The deputy know. Kwaku Asumeni know nothing. Only Bibiafa security ho. He was a taxi driver in London and Gabi Asoroche Dako Ekotam de Nebae. Say ombe deputize Major General Edu Amafo no unsuye dwumano before neniti no na what try say or the Edu Amafo Major General Edu Amafo ebeba into the inner circle and as it were so be corrupting no so be here anything yo. Now Edu Amafo no so wafre ni PA every America so omra no meboa no omunye adwan. Now Coordinator Edu Amafo any Kwasmini in a meeting warning the PA say Unkn0wn. Because Womama and Land Cruiser Prado, Womama a big bungalow or dim our chado to Unkn0wn. No Unkn0wn will be didi. Really? Guess what? On the 3rd day of May 2017, no nya call say illegal mining be cost will want to know onye ready. Later on, some twists and turns pop up indicating the informant was part of a conspiracy ploy to have him implicated over his poise to arresting the illegal mining companies. Ebra, afi informant no, any needing komono or she said the no maybe kwa there be informant ni say ade we koso nti eso eden otu anamo afi hu say no some twist and turn ade be ye bisi basa, so then he needed to be careful. Folks, obey careful no onye careful no. Guess what happened? What happened? A frame up conspiracy led to his arrest and incarceration at the BNI cells for a considerable period. Obia onu yedi tumi ahye ne nsa say yedi tumi ahye ne nsa by the likes of Budukum Sinomni ade say mining forest ho na kwacheche illegal miners na build up intelligence report February nye ni afi onu ankasa momu no okoye adwuma no wo ma turn it round ama informant bi afre no no onu ko forest wa odan no ho no okoy na ma apply say onu mum rather kwakoye galamsey. Can you imagine? And right there no returning up get and omuso ni nsem de handcuff to nsa straight to BNI cells. Ghanaians me pese me kyerem why the inability of Akuffo-led government, they couldn't fight the illegal galamsey. And almost to the latter part of say Tuaba, somewhere closer to December, when we say we are illegal mining also in the Ghana's forest reserves. And Akuffo was told in plain words to declare state of emergency or they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing in Ghana's forest reserve. And they were even implicating their own officers. Listen. Several strict instructions came to the director BNI from the National Security Coordinator, Kweku Asmini, and one Colonel Opoku. According to him, one Colonel Opoku at the National Security HQ not to release him, according to this officer. Or say, Ebra didn't share BNI cells one. Kweku Asmini, any one Colonel Opoku also at the National Security. And the warning Akroma BNI PD4 said me in releasing. Yeah. And I'm sure
but that's it. So Jibre, now Japan at my POG political highway no. Say embrace any military political news no and from go as and also next day a coso my Ghana management. Now also subscribe here and need so I message drop subscription no hit the notification bell no say the on South base me aka daily update no now wa share no for so and so etimi aka na so on kan bia na se nkomo bia obetimi so abo e dey ra the comment section or na what this nkomo in a POG Media mrante yes so yebeba na yabema ho eye emo. Me that's it. So Jibre at my POG political highway no your message here.